So, in today's video, and by the way, everyone, thanks for tuning in again to another episode of Capri Social Network. Anyways, and with that being said, I wanted to talk about not only talk about, but show quite a bit of women giving their perspectives on how they would prefer guys not to approach them nowadays, modern women. That is, as in within the 30 something year old and older age brackets. With that being said, here are the clips. And like I always, while showing the clips, I plan on giving my 2 cents on this here topic.
I think I speak for all women when I tell y'all that we are so sick of hearing, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous, everywhere we go. We're sick of it. It's annoying. Unless it's somebody we like, then yeah, tell me that shit all day, tell me more, tell me everything.
So appreciation for a compliment depends whether or not the woman likes the guy or thinks the guy is attractive. For me, I don't know if I had a compliment, doesn't matter who the compliment is coming from, I would say thank you and move about my day. But to complain that you're so tired and you're so put off by being called beautiful, gorgeous, and all these great things is absolutely ridiculous. So when you say, why don't men show up to things like dating events? It's because of this. It's because two different men could do the same exact thing. One is awful and one is great because one she's attracted to and the other is not. Now, I'm not saying every guy that's going to compliment you should be attracted to. And that's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, where is the appreciation for a compliment? Where is the acknowledgement that, hey, this person didn't have to come up to me and pay me a compliment, so let me be kind at least and say, hey, thank you. But to come on here and complain that you're so annoyed and you're so put off by people paying you a compliment, I think this sends a signal directly to men. Do not approach women. So when women say, why aren't you approaching women? When women say, why aren't you going to dating events? It's because of this. We don't know where we will land, whether we will be called a creep or whether we will be called, Don Juan Casanova. We don't know because it all depends if the woman finds us attractive.
I think I speak.
And I'm glad this brother gave his point of view on this here particular short, aka TikTok reel, because I guarantee you, when a woman of this nature saying how she would want a certain guy to compliment her, yeah, she would want a certain guy to compliment her, a guy by the likes of either Ray Ray or Pookie, a Shy Dog, short for Rashad, and that guy would have to be, for some of you who want me to clarify more what I mean by either Shy Dog, Ray Ray, or Pookie, one of those exact types of guys is tatted up using. One of those same types of dudes is always using the latest street slang. One of those same types of dude who can't hold a job due to his long, extensive criminal record or background. The same types of dude who are always hot all the time off of that gas, as we say nowadays. And another term would be loud. The same type of guy who could barely spell his name, much less put a proper sentence together. A guy who can't even much speak proper English. When that being said, the same types of guys who women like this, just like this, will go out their ways to take care of without that guy having to put forth the effort to work at all. He does, for the most part, if he happens to fit the description of either one of the guys that I just described, the hood types of dudes, these types of females go for. The same types of dudes who they'll let drive their cars, in some cases brand new cars, drop them off to work in, while they may, as soon as they may drop them off to work, may go hauling some other woman in their cars. And then in some instances, to make matters even worse, will have these same women, the same random women in their beds, in their very same bedrooms, who they may sleep in these guys, with these guys in. I'm telling you, these types of modern day women are something else. And this here female happens to be in, I would say, her 30s, either 30s or 40s. These are the types of women who don't want an average man, an average black brother, that is. Whereas he's highly educated, whereas he speaks very well English, whereas he doesn't have a criminal record at all, doesn't believe in getting in trouble with the law at all. And when that being said, on the other hand, the same types of females, though, like I just stated, in the same breath, they don't mind getting one a pookie, or much less a pookie approaching them while they may be either the mall, gas station, grocery store. You know, the same types of females who are coming on social media now saying how they will prefer guys not to approach them at all in public, yet and still they are the same females in the same breath who go day in and day out onto these social media platforms complaining about how they never get approached. Some even go as far as crying their guts out and complain at the same time about how they never ever get approached or any compliments by guys. This is why, due to this here one TikTok reel, I could go on and on. Anyways,
I noticed this like one.
I am going to say this in love and in truth. When a Black woman avoids being approached in public, especially by a Black man, it is not typically about ego, but about survival. I am a Black woman who loves Black men. And my truth is that I have literally had to go to therapy. Again, I have gone to therapy to process how unsafe I feel around them. And that's not something that I am proud to say. That is something that I had to literally heal through. Because my truth is, my trauma came from Black men. It didn't come from white men. It didn't come from brown men. It didn't come from red or green, Oompa Loompas or anything. It came from Black men. And that's the same as opposed to other communities. White women experience more abuse from white men. However, the propaganda that they try to push for racism is that Black men are abusing them. But no, it's not. It's the same within our community, just like it's the same within theirs. They can't face their truth because of systemic racism. And we cannot face our truth because of cultural bias. The Black woman is supposed to hold the Black man down by any means necessary. And that means even at the cost of her. And that's not me generalizing. That is my lived experience. And I specifically went to therapy because I knew it was not realistic for me to have such fear towards something that I love so much. But that fear existed because every trauma, every fist, every punch, every kick, every essay came from a man that looked like me. And that cultural betrayal ran deep. Because from me, what's inside of me, I truly believed that because of what we've come from and because of what we went through, just like I'm supposed to stand tall and protect you, I would expect the exact same thing because of what our ancestors went through. But that's not my story. And that's not plenty of Black women's story. So if you're a Black man who gets angry because a Black woman does not want to be approached by you in a grocery store, instead of you getting angry, I ask for you to sit with this instead. What is it that you can do to help make this world a safer place for Black women to feel safe in the company of what looks like her? What can you do to stop being triggered by a Black woman's boundaries and start reflecting on why those boundaries exist in the first place? Because if your first response is defensiveness and not accountability, you're not ready to be in her presence in the first place. Don't just approach us, protect us. Don't just speak to us, but see us. And don't just desire us, We are literally begging y'all to do better by us.
And just pay close attention to the caption of this here TikTok reel. Why black men? Well, let me say that. Try to say it more slower so I could be able to get it right this time around. Why black women feel unsafe when black men approach them in general, but in this discussion, the grocery store. Now, with that being said, while she's saying all this bullshit, and that's exactly what she's full of, I guarantee you that if a white dude who happened to fit the description of a Louis Skolnick from a Revenge of the Nerds, for some of you who may be 40 or older, you know exactly which movie I'm referring to, or either Poindexter, and was to approach her in a grocery store. She wouldn't be crying out, coming on to social media saying why black women feel unsafe about white men approaching them in the grocery store. It's like only when us brothers try to approach you sisters, because we think the world of y'all. Y'all give us such a hard time when approaching y'all in public. Once again, you same as that black females who come on to social media complaining day in and day out about not getting approached by brothers or men in general. However, anytime it's a man of the opposite race, you go out of your way, even if he may be super corny, like once again, either Louis Skolnick from Revenge of the Nerds or Poindexter from Revenge of the Nerds, and he may happen to even tell some of the most corniest jokes, you still will do all you can to give him some of the best treatment as possible. And I would say one reason why is because you value men of other races, especially white men, more so than your very own black brothers. Only, once again, anytime a black brother in most cases is so hood, so thug, so gangster, so thugged out and gangster, that's the only time you want to give him the time of day. Men who aren't worth a damn, and men who don't even much to deserve your attention at all, men who you don't mind taking out on dates and going out of your way to treat and spending money on, the types of dudes who can barely hold a job, much less find one due to their extensive criminal records, and then they're very I would say they're very bad criminal records, because some of these guys, these same guys, black guys who you go crazy for, some of these same guys who you don't mind or prefer to approach you in person are the same types of black guys who have went as far as being charged for capital murder, grand theft and larceny, what else, aggravated assault, kidnapping. These is that types of guys who are the most types, exact types of guys that most of you black women want, especially a woman of this caliber. In this here video, I guarantee you she either has a Ray Ray or a Pookie right at home while she was coming on to TikTok saying all this BS, or she has been with several guys of that nature, guys who can hardly hold their pants up all the way, guys who are always under the influence of some narcotic or some kind of alcoholic beverage, guys who are always super loud and belligerent no matter where they go in public, guys who always have a chip on their shoulder, guys who are always ready to pop somebody else if you catch my drift, guys who always are carrying that heat pretty much everywhere you go, everywhere they go, guys who have excessive tattoos from on their faces to on their chest, from their upper part of their chest, their lower parts of their chest to both of their arms, all the way up and down their arms. These are the types of black men, the main ones, black women, so many black women, especially black women like this, who shouldn't get a time of day. They like to worship and put on a pedestal.
Wait, so niggas will flirt with you at the grocery store, but not offer to pay for your groceries? Get the fuck out of my face! I beg your fucking pardon. What the fuck you think this is? I'm over here shopping for things, and you're flirting with me while I'm shopping for things, but not offering to pay for the things that I'm shopping for while you're trying to flirt with me. Are you stupid? Like, the only way to win right now is to pay for the groceries. If not, move the fuck around. Move around. Because you're definitely not moving on up. Thank you.
Okay, so I have a PSA. Men, this is for you. Let's stop approaching women at the gas station.
And before I play this here TikTok reel all the way, I just want you to know, a lot of you fellas, a lot of you black fellas, specifically my black brothers, just when you always thought that the grass was green on the other side, whereas you could have a much more easier time approaching white women as opposed to your very own black women who give you such a hard time. Well, let this be a perfect case in point and lesson that there are some women of other races who are just as worse, who have just as worse of a mindset and just as much of a high sense of arrogance as the average sister, the average black woman, that is. Listen to this.
Let's stop doing that. I'm very uncomfortable when I'm at the gas station. I know a lot of girls that are also uncomfortable. But I go to the gas station on my way to work today. I stop to get a beverage. I wanted an energy drink, and then I needed a snack. This man is leaving as I'm going in. You can tell when somebody's noticing you. You know, when you have eyes on you, you can just tell. I can just feel this guy kind of looking at me, which whatever, I don't care. I walk into the gas station, I get my drink, I want a snack. It's taking me forever because I'm indecisive. That's just who I am. I come out and the man is still sitting in his vehicle, just waiting. It's probably been 15 minutes. I don't fucking know. And is just looking at me. He's watching me walk to my car. I clean out my cup holders and I get back into my car. And I'm like, hey, what the fuck is this guy doing? He approaches me, which, very nice that he didn't do anything like super creepy or anything like that. But he approached me when I'm by myself at the gas station, and like, I'm not going to knock a man for shooting his shot. Shoot your shot. Do it. But not at the gas station. I'm already very uncomfortable at the gas station. And I don't know why, but that's where I get hit on the most. So, can we stop, please?
This is a PSA for men, and I'm going to go ahead and just assume that I can speak on behalf of a pretty large portion of women when I say, please do not approach us in public, especially when no one else is around. I do not want to be approached at a gas station in which you and I are the only customers. Inappropriate, not acceptable. Here's what happened. I'm at a gas station. A guy comes next to me. He walks behind my car, and as I'm like trying to put the credit card into the reader, he's like, oh, is this a Crosstrek? And I am flustered because the credit card machine isn't working, and I am flustered because there's a strange man walking behind my car. And I go, I'm sorry, excuse me. And he goes, is this a Crosstrek? First of all, he's looking at the back of my car. Second of all, I know what like tricked out Jeep looks like, and that's exactly what he was driving. And you cannot tell me that as someone who is like an aficionado of cars and like adding every who's in and what's it galore onto your Jeep Wrangler that you don't know that this is an Outback. I've watched too much SVU for this shit, okay? The math ain't mathin'. It's a little fishy. And I go, it's an Outback. I don't give a tiny rat's ass that you tell me that you're thinking of getting this sort of car for your wife and you're just looking out for a safe car. I don't give a shit. I don't want to be approached that way. It is not okay. It's unnecessary. It's unacceptable. And if you're going to be like, wow, I have to be such a bitch about it, think about all of the uncomfortable situations in which I have been put in to get me to this point. So think on that. Just be smarter. Like, surely you can ask a dude in your life if they know the safety statistics about a Subaru Outback. You could Google it. You do not need to approach me at a gas station. It's just, you know, you came up behind me. I have no tolerance anymore, and I'm not going to be quiet about this kind of shit because this is the stuff that women deal with on a daily basis. The amount of men that have come up to my car and been like, roll down your window. No, we're not doing it anymore. We're not participating.
And this is exactly why I gave this here video the title on behalf of the challenges of approaching modern women due to these here examples. Anyways, and like always, make sure to like, share, comment, last but not least, subscribe. And I'm out.